Okay, so in this video we need to find the center, circumference, and area of the circle. So we're finding three different things. So the way I'm going to organize this is we'll find the center in black, we'll find the circumference in red, and we'll find the area in blue. So in order to find the circumference and the area, I need the radius. Okay, so in order to find the radius, I need to use from the center to the edge, or I need to find the diameter and cut it in half. So I'm going to find the center first and see what I get. And I know I'm going to need midpoint formula and distance formula. And for the center, I know it's midpoint formula. So I take my x's, divide them by 2, and take my y's, add them, and divide by 2. And I put parentheses around the 1 because it's negative, and I get 3 halves, 6 halves, which reduces to 3 halves, comma 3. Now, that's one of the pieces of information that I need, but I don't like this fraction. You can go ahead and put this fraction in the distance formula, but to find the radius, and I'll put that in green, I need that for my other two parts. I'm actually going to find the diameter and cut it in half, or use the diameter. And because I know that these are endpoints, they make the diameter, and so I'm going to go ahead and use this to make life a little bit easier. I know the radius squared is equal to, the radius squared, we're just going to use the distance formula. So the radius is going to equal the square root of x2 minus x1 squared, or I should say, let me erase this, this should be the diameter. Okay? But I need to make sure that I know I'm dividing this by 2. The reason I'm finding the diameter first is because I don't want to put this fraction underneath that square root. It's going to be a mess. So I don't want to deal with the fraction. I'm going to add that to y2 minus y1, square it, and I know the diameter is going to equal the square root of 5 squared plus 12 squared. So the diameter is equal to 25 plus 144, and so the diameter is equal to the square root of 169, which is equal to 13. So if the diameter is equal to 13, then the radius is equal to 13 over 2. That was much easier to work with than the fraction in the distance formula. So I just used what I knew about diameter and radius to make my life easier. So now we're going to go ahead and find the circumference. Once we find these things, once we find the radius, it's pretty straightforward. Circumference is equal to 2 pi r, or I think most people don't just do pi times the diameter. So if you remember 2 pi r, then that's fine, we just multiply them through. But if we know its circumference is equal to diameter times pi, I don't even have to do that step that I did here to find the radius. I do need it for the area though. So circumference is equal to 13 pi, and we leave things in terms of pi. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to find the area, and area is equal to pi r squared. So the area is equal to pi times 13 over 2 squared. And so the area is equal to 169 pi over 4, and we leave it in terms of pi. And that's how we can find the area, circumference, and center of a circle.